Master from the 40 Servants is a unique card in many respects, a unique servant. Most of the, in fact, none of the cards in the 40 Servants come in any particular order in the way that, say, that the major arcana from the tarot would, or other oracle decks would have a particular order where one card might lead into another. In the tarot, you have the Fool's Journey. But that is, in the 40 Servants, that's not really how it works out. But the Master would have a position in that he is the last card. And I say that because the Master is basically the end goal of all this work, of the magic work, of the shadow work, or the personal development, or of life. Or when you hear people talking about, that we're here because it's a school and we have to learn the lessons and all this. The Master is basically that version of you that has learned all the lessons, that has got through all of its crud, all of the shadow work, all of the things that it's holding its back, all of its hang-ups, all of its, it's got over its family dramas, it's got over its adult dramas, it's got over all its fears, all the things that's holding us back. It has experienced all the things. It experienced loss, love, debt, all of the things. It's what people like in Theosophy or in certain New Age circles would call the Ascended Master. It's that thing that you're trying to attain. In magic, in the Western magical tradition, it is sometimes known as the HGA, which is the Holy Guardian Angel. And now it became fairly popular from Aleister Crowley, but there's a history going back before it, Abraham Allen and all this kind of stuff that you can look into. But it's basically, there's many different ways that the HGA can be approached. And one of them is that it is the perfected you. And that is you, when you've gone through all your things and you've become the perfect version of yourself. You've ascended in one way. There is people that talk about it being a slightly separate entity, that it's you, but it's some sort of something else as well. And other people think that it's been totally, separate from you altogether, and it's just, a guiding spirit, like a guardian angel. But in the 40 Servants, the Master is definitely representing your higher self. Not your higher self in that sometimes in New Age circles we would say, that, there's you and then there's your higher self that knows all the things. This is you when you've finished all the things, or that bit of you that continues into eternity and learns all the things and becomes ascended in self. And even if you don't buy into the whole Ascended Master thing, or say even reincarnation, or that life, that the universe, or we're here because it's a school and all that, think of it as the perfected self, you on your best, finest day, that you are the things that you're capable if you didn't have your hang-ups, your fears and all that, what you would do. So that's another way to approach it. So we'll go to the book. The Master shows us how to be the best version of ourselves. He encourages us to always strive to act from our higher selves rather than our lesser natures. The Master asks, what would you do if you were the best version of yourself? How would you approach the situation at hand from the point of view of an enlightened being? The Master is you on your very best day. It is you on the day when you're able to handle everything that the world throws at you. And with style. The Master knows in every moment what the best approach is and what to say and how to react, because he has seen all this before and knows how to deal with it quickly, easily and expertly. If you're the person you want to be, what would you do, say or think? How would you behave? This mindset can be used in times when there's a need for extra strength or confidence. You should think of the person you were 5 or 10 or 20 years ago and realise how much more you know about life now than you did then. Then think about how much more you would know if you lived to be 1,000 years old, 1,000,000 years old, or until the end of time. How would this version of you, the ideal or master version, deal with your current situation, goals, worries or relationships? What would the perfected version of you do? The Master is connected to your holy guardian angel, daemon, perfected self, higher self, ascended master, watcher, or whatever name you choose to call it. You can use the image of the servant as a gateway to communication with the HGA. Offerings and prayer work very effectively, as is carrying the sigil on your person or using it as a focus and concentration exercises. Meditation upon the image of the card or sigil, along with the intention to make contact with your higher self or higher being, can be highly effective. A great way to allow the energy of the Master into your life is to surrender to him and allow him to instruct and guide you on the right path. Remember, the Master is you. So you're not bowing down or worshipping an external divine being, you're simply acknowledging your own divinity in the most complete and perfected form. And that thing at the end of the surrender, there's a really good practice of, in a meditation practice, of just allowing yourself to... People have a hang up about the word surrender because it feels like you're giving something away, but just to let, put yourself into that, another word, faith in, the higher knowledge of yourself, or, into the greater knowledge of something, some part of you who does know more than you know from your limited perspective. So the Master is one of my favourite servants and one I work with an awful lot. And people, there is that kind of a Christ consciousness thing to it as well, which I thought would put off an awful lot of people, but people seem to get that thing, can separate the kind of religious thing from the representation that Christ consciousness has to it. So whatever way you approach it, think of it either as the Ascended Master, your Holy Guardian Angel, your perfected self, or you on your best possible day. And it's definitely a servant worth checking out and spending some time with. So if you want to find out more about the 40 Servants, you can go to the40servants.com, and there you will find all the information you will need to start working with the 40 Servants. You'll also find links to where you can buy the Grimoire and where you can buy the deck, and all the information that you could possibly ever want on the 40 Servants will be there.